guys, welcome to day 25 of the CrossFit Liverpool handstand challenge. We're going to focus today on more wall work. So remember, the aim of the wall work is to try and build up your endurance and just work on particular aspects of your positioning. We're going to carry on with what we were focusing on the other day. We're just going to separate it in different movements. So position number one is going to be trying to open up those shoulders as much as we can. Yep. And number two is trying to keep your legs together nice and tight. Now, the two drills that we're going to do throughout it, you're only going to be able to focus on one of those things at once. So there's going to be a trade-off between spending longer on your hands, not in the optimal position, but you're going to take away opening up your shoulders. And then the other one, obviously, we're not going to be able to have our shoulders in a perfectly stacked position all the time, but we're going to be focusing on bringing those legs together. So for the next part, we're going to focus still again on your shoulder flexion and extension. We'll stick with the same time scale. You're going to do 20 seconds of shoulder flexion exercises, 10 seconds of rest 3 times through, and then you're going to do 20 seconds of shoulder extension exercises, 10 seconds rest 3 times through. For the second part of this warm-up, guys, we're going to do 2 exercises. We're going to do your straddle drags. Again, it's been a while since we've done straddle drags. Your focus is trying to make it slower and slower and slower and more controlled through the hips. Remember, eventually, these lead to things like to press to handstand, especially today when we're going to focus on a press to headstand exercise. So it's going to give you a little bit more sensation of control through your midsection. And the other one is going to be sticking with the bunny hops. Again, if you need to do wall bunny hops, go for wall bunny hops. If you want to do freestanding bunny hops, you go for freestanding bunny hops. Remember, your big focus on that one is trying to open up your shoulder as much as you can and stack the hips over the hands, yep, and your shoulders. For your skill component, guys, you're going to focus on wall lift-offs. Okay, so here we're going to try and open up your shoulders. You're going to try and keep your heels squeezed together, and then you're going to try and tighten up your whole body, reach towards the ceiling, push into your fingers, and then gently lift off the wall. Again, we're going to see how long we can spend lifting off the wall throughout the duration of those. Maybe kind of like, again, between 5 to 10 attempts at this. If you're not spending too long up against the wall, maybe rest a little bit longer and spend more than 10 attempts on it. Same as we talked about in the last session, try and focus on the closer you are into the wall, the more into a vertical handstand you're going to get and the better position you're going to be. But the harder it is to kind of challenge yourself to stay against or as close to the wall as possible. The further away you are, the harder it is on your fingers, but the more kind of like degree of freedom you have away from the wall. Literally degree of freedom as in kind of like if you're starting here, if you just push a little bit, you're going to topple over quite easily. Whereas if we're starting here, we've got all this strength that we've got to use, and we're probably more likely to fall back against the wall. So further away from the wall, really good for beginners, but hard on strength. closer into the wall, really good if you're starting to get at the point of holding a nice, perfect vertical handstand, but it can be a little bit frustrating. So for your workout, we're going to introduce a new exercise. We're going to do headstand jackknives or press to headstand. Your focus here is you're going to go into your tripod position for your headstands. We're then going to point our toes, we're going to squeeze our heels together, and then we're going to try and, with our straight legs, bring ourselves up into a headstand position, and then gently lower back down, touch your toes to the floor, and then bring it back up again. You can do between 3 to 5 repetitions of this. What it does is it gives you a great sense of awareness for using your glutes, your abs, and your lower back muscles just to try and straighten out that position. All the way through, be mindful of kind of keeping your heels together, and squeezing nice and tight. If you want to put a pair of socks between your heels for this, so that you can try and focus on that a little bit more as you're bringing it up and back down, go ahead and do that. So we'll just show you a short video on doing the handstand jackknife. If you do struggle with this, guys, just practice going into your frog stand position or your advanced frog stand position. Remember, frog stand is where you're touching your knees to your elbows. And your advanced frog stand is just where you gently bring away your knees from your elbows. Try and keep your knees together and hold in that 90-degree bend position. After each set of handstand jackknives, you're going to do a 30-second hollow rock. Okay, we focused on your hollow last time. We're going to go to your hollow rock, but the same things apply, guys. The most common problems that we tend to find in the hollow is flicking your legs up and not maintaining the same arch position throughout the body all the way through. We want to try and make sure that it's just that same position and it's rocking backwards and forwards. Rather than what we tend to find is that as people rock up, they break at the hip and they break at the hip in the opposite direction. So just try and keep that nice curved boat position all the way through. Remember, we're trying to open up the shoulder as much as we can. So we're not trying to throw the shoulders forward as we're doing it. We're not trying to throw the head forward. Don't try and gain momentum that way. And then same again from the glutes. What we're trying to focus on is just trying to push the lower back into the ground. Squeeze your glutes or step a little bit further away. Squeeze your glutes and reach your toes away from you. So the workout is going to be 3 rounds, 3 to 5 handstand jackknives, straight into a 30 seconds hollow rock. Rest as long as you need to and repeat that again 3 times.